My name is Santos, and today I will talk a little bit about the integration between Liferay and Hystrix and why you should have this kind of architecture on your project. So nowadays, it's pretty common that all applications are connected to remote services. In fact, complex applications can be connected to a pretty high number of remote services. And your project can gains in isolation, modularization, maintainability, and scalability. But how can you be sure that all services will be working all the time? You can't, right? So let's think about an example. Here on the screen, a user is making a request to your application, and this request depends on 4 external dependencies. So if everything works fine, it's perfect. This is the best scenario, and it's the scenario that we hope to have all the time. But if one dependency is failing, what your software will do? How will respond to the client this error? It will propagate to other systems. What should do? And if you have a lot of user requests depending on the same dependency that is failing, how your software will respond to this? Will it crash? Will it show the user a proper error message? So services are great. Everyone wants this. Everyone uses it. So basically, they are possible points of failure to every software that will use them. So how can you prevent your software to failures like this? How can you do prevention to your software be more resilient? I will paraphrase here Ben Christensen from Netflix, which says that no single dependency should take down the entire app. So fallback, fail silent, and fail fast. So how can you do this kind of prevention? In modern software development, we have a patent called Circuit Breaker, which is a pattern to detect failures and encapsulate the logic of prevention of failures from constantly recurring. So Circuit Breaker works routing all the calls or the requests in an object to control what's going on. And this pattern gives you the possibility to choose what will happen to your software if something goes wrong. So here, it's how this pattern works. So the client will do a request to your provider, and Circuit Breaker, it will be in the middle of this, and it will wrap the request to monitoring. So the provider will respond well, and the client will get a proper response. It's fine. It's the best scenario. So in other requests, the provider can take too long to respond, for example, and you get a timeout. So your user will get a timeout too. So all subsequent calls will get a timeout. So what will you do on this way? Circuit Breaker will trip the circuit to stop all subsequent calls to pass to your provider, avoiding to have a high number of requests failing all the time. So it's based on a threshold to open the circuit, and on the next request, Circuit Breaker will just respond directly to a user without passing nothing to the provider because it's not working. So it's important to mention that you need to configure because not all errors should open the circuit. So it's based on a lot of configuration to open or not. Circuit Breaker has just 3 states. The first one is closed, when everything is working fine and all requests are completely fine, the provider is working fine. The second one is open. It's when non-requests are passing to the provider because it's failing. And the third one is half open. It's when the Circuit Breaker will let just one request to pass to the provider to see if the provider is working normally again. So if it's normally again, the circuit will be closed and all requests will pass. And if not succeeds, it will stay open, stopping all requests. It's basically this. But oops, if circuit breaker is all this, what is Hystrix? So Hystrix is a library developed and used by Netflix exactly to help you to implement this pattern on your software. Basically, Hystrix adds latency tolerance and fault tolerance logic to your project, adding more resilience. So what is Hystrix for? Hystrix is designed to improve the overall resilience of your software, of your application, isolating fails, stopping cascade failures, fail fast, and giving the proper fallback message to your final user. So what problems does Hystrix solve exactly? So let's take another example. Imagine that your application depends on 30 services, and which service has 99.99% of uptime. Okay, so you will have basically 99.7% of uptime. So 0.3% is not that much for failures, but 0.3% of 1 billion requests, it will be 3 million failures, which means to your software around 2 hours downtime per month, even if all dependencies have an excellent uptime. However, as you probably know, the reality is generally worse than that. So how can you do something to help your software, right? So Hystrix accomplished this, wrapping the requests in a Hystrix object, which can be Hystrix command or Hystrix observed command, to maintain a small thread pool to all services, to all remote services, to control the number of threads to each of them. And Hystrix will trip the secret to stop the requests if it's necessary, based on a lot of configurations that you have to do. So these are some examples of configuration of Hystrix. You can have these configurations to each service, and this can be changed in real time without the necessity to restart the application. So it's pretty cool because you don't need to stop for a moment to do this. It's just a change and everything works fine. And Hystrix will do this performing a fallback message, a fallback method to your final user to user know what's going on. So besides this, Hystrix will enable to you a way to monitor your remote services with a great dashboard with a lot of information. So our first example with Hystrix will be something like this. Hystrix will wrap all external services. It will create a small thread pool to each of them to control everything. And if something goes wrong on some dependency, Hystrix will fail fast and silent. And the other dependency will continue working normally. So this is the diagram for Hystrix with circuit breaker. The first part is the circuit breaker status, basically. It will see if the circuit is open or not to pass or not the request. And the other part is the metrics that Hystrix will collect to your application to know what's going on. So it will collect some success, failures, timeouts, and rejection. And all this information, all these numbers, will be presented to you in a dashboard like this. So each service will be available with a dashboard like this, with a lot of information. So you can see here the health of your service, the request rate, the error percentage, the circuit break status, and so on. So it's a lot of information that you can see for each service that you have. So Hystrix is this. Hystrix will help you to have this on your project We will have this great dashboard to monitor everything that's going on, and we will help your software to be more resilient. So, knowing all these benefits of circuit breaker and Hystrix and the idea to implement this, how can Liferay take advantage of this? So our clients can deploy a huge number of applications in Liferay, and it's not possible to Liferay to control what is going on, what the portlets are executing, and so on. So Liferay is the front door to our clients, and we need to make sure that Liferay will work, independent of their external services. So Hystrix and Liferay are a great team. They work really great together. And we have implemented this project on this client in Brazil. It's called Smiles. It's a loyalty program in Brazil. And they have worked with Liferay since 2014. And we had implemented this project last year in production. So basically, before, the architecture is a normal architecture, just with a cluster of Liferay with 4 servers connected to the Oracle Service Bus, where all their servers are. And what we did, we changed it to put the Hystrix in the middle of this to control all the requests. So Hystrix will do the job to stop or no the request to the final user. The great thing about this is because before this change of the architecture, everything that went wrong in Liferay was pointed by a client that was Liferay fault. So with this architecture, we can prove to the client that Liferay is not the problem. The problem is the servers or their services that are with problems, and they have evaporated in Liferay because Liferay is the front door. So here are an example of the Hystrix dashboard from Smiles. You can see the huge number of servers that they are monitoring through Hystrix right now. And there are a lot of servers. And at the final of the page, you can see the thread pools for each service here to see if the configuration is fine or you need to change everything. So to aggregate all dashboards in one page, it was used another library from Netflix, which is called Turbine. Turbine is basically an aggregating streams of server-sent events, but it was used to put all this information in just one page. So I will put a video, because I don't want to do a live presentation here, to show to you the benefits of Hystrix here with Liferay. So I have a Liferay here working, and I need to start the Hystrix application. And this was a project for a client in Brazil. It was a proof of concept, and they have a lot of services. And because of this, we need to start the Turbine too. So they are just both Java applications. It's a normal Java application. And I will show to you how can you improve your resilience with this kind of architecture, just starting these 2 applications. So it's starting Turbine now. And here I will create a new page to put my new portlet. And this portlet is showing some information that is coming from external servers. So the portlet now is showing the fallback message because the service is not working yet. So it's just the service is out right now. And I will start the SOAP UI to restart the service and to show the information here on the portlet. So when the service is working, I will refresh the page, and now the portlet is showing my information. And this is the Hystrix dashboard to this service, but there are few information because it's just one request. So to change this, I will start a JMeet script to put a lot of requests to the same service to show to you the change on the Hystrix dashboard and how Liferay will work with this. So I will start here the JMeet script. And now you can see Hystrix is improving the numbers. You can see that the number of requests is increasing now, but the service is working fine and is green, everything is working fine. The portlet continues working, even with a lot of traffic. So to change the scenario, I will close the SOAP UI to show to you what will happen with Liferay. So Hystrix started here to show that the thing is not working anymore. So you can see the error percentage here. You can see that the circuit break status is different now. And if I refresh the page, the service is out again. But Liferay is still working, even with a lot of traffic to the service. So everything continues working. You can do anything in Liferay. So if one time the service is working again, everything works normally. So I will start again the service here to show to you that Liferay, the portlet, will show the information again normally, and Hystrix will close the circuit. So I will start the service, and now you can see that Hystrix is changing again. It's healthy now, it's green, everything is passing, and the portlet now has the information again. So this client in Brazil, Smiles, they have a huge number of servers that reverberate in Liferay all the time. I was based there for 1.5 years, helping them to improve their environment, and we have implemented this last year, and the difference is huge for us consultants and for them, because their website is all the time online. So this is their business. They sell online, so they need to be uptime all the time. So we achieved this with Liferay and Hystrix. So these are some references that was used to build this project on Smiles, the demo, and this presentation. So yeah, everyone is taking photos, yes. So thank you, and that's it. Please rate my session, and if you have some questions, I'm here to help you. Thank you.